No footsteps approaching, no carts rolling past, no doors opening behind you. This hospital hallway hasn't been used in years. And yet standing here, it doesn't feel neutral. It feels wrong. Welcome to Fascination reality. Hospital hallways are not destinations. They exist to connect urgency with action. Patients move through them. Staff move faster. Decisions are made mid-stride. These corridors were designed for constant motion. When that motion disappears, the space changes. Section 1. A corridor built for urgency. The design of this space is built around one central theme: movement. Everything here points forward, guiding your body and mind in a clear direction. Long sight lines stretch ahead, making the path feel open and unobstructed. The bright floors beneath your feet reflect light, creating an atmosphere of clarity and space, while the doors are evenly spaced along the hallway, establishing a rhythm that encourages flow. There's an unspoken promise of speed in this layout, a silent expectation that you will keep moving. In this space, the idea of lingering seems unnatural, almost unnecessary. The design doesn't ask you to pause or hesitate, but to pass through. It's as if the very walls are whispering, "Keep going." Every element, from the flooring to the doors to the angle of the walls, works to propel you forward. Even now, as you walk through the hallways, the design still suggests urgency. Your body feels the instinct to move quickly, your eyes scanning the empty stretch of the corridor ahead. You anticipate the presence of someone at the end, someone to appear and meet you, or at least to offer a sense of direction. But as you reach the end of the hallway, there is no one. The stillness that awaits you feels almost unnerving, as if the layout itself is trying to prepare you for something that never arrives. In this way, the design contrasts the expectation of movement with the absence of interaction. It forces you to confront the tension between anticipation and emptiness. The space demands movement, but when you reach the end, there's nothing more. Just a lingering silence that holds the weight of unfulfilled expectation. Section 2. When expectation has no response. This design creates a subtle but powerful psychological tension. Your eyes are quick to recognize a space built for urgency. The long, clear lines, the evenly spaced doors, the bright floors all scream efficiency, movement, and purpose. It's a place where you expect action, where the rhythm of the environment suggests you're meant to be moving quickly through it. However, your ears tell you a different story. Silence. The quiet is almost palpable, a stark contrast to the visual cues. The sensory signals don't align. What you see pushes you to move, but what you hear pulls you into stillness. This mismatch between the visual cues and the silence around you creates a quiet form of cognitive dissonance. In a place designed for speed, the stillness disrupts your expectations, leaving you in a state of subtle discomfort. Your mind is conditioned to anticipate movement, but nothing happens. It's not a feeling of abandonment or emptiness. No, it's something more unsettling. A sense of waiting. The hallway doesn't feel like it's been left behind, but rather like it's suspended, paused, as if holding its breath for something that should happen, but never does. The space itself seems to expect movement, but it doesn't arrive. This creates a lingering tension, as if everything is on hold. The anticipation you feel is not met with the expected action, and instead, the hallway exists in a suspended state, silently urging you to move, but offering no real reason or direction to do so. It's as if time itself is waiting for a movement that remains perpetually out of reach. Section 3. The human trace. The most powerful emotions often arise from the smallest details. These are the subtle marks left behind by time, unnoticed by most, yet they hold the weight of countless stories. Take, for instance, a door left slightly ajar, not fully open, but just enough to suggest someone once passed through, never quite finishing the action. Or consider a handrail, worn smooth at the center, the result of years of hands gripping and guiding people along their way. It's a quiet testament to the passage of time, a constant use that eventually leaves its mark. Even something as simple as faded directional arrows on the floor tells of repetition, the countless steps taken by people who once followed that path, just as you do now. These marks aren't here to tell a specific story. They don't hold individual memories or names. Instead, they show the patterns of life that were once lived here, the repetition of daily routines, the countless hands that touched, feet that moved, and decisions made along the way. They reflect the lives of thousands who once walked this same path, filling it with purpose and motion. But now, the routine has stopped. The space is quiet, still, and the activity that once defined it has faded. Yet the traces remain, frozen in time. They are the silent reminders of what once was. These subtle details, though small, carry an immense weight. They remind us of a life that was lived, a pattern that was once followed, and of a past that lingers in the marks left behind, even when the people themselves are no longer here. Section 4. Why corridors feel unsettling. Rooms can feel calm when they're empty, like a still moment in time, providing a sense of peace. Waiting areas too can take on a quiet, almost serene atmosphere, where stillness feels natural, but hallways are different. These spaces are designed for movement, for the act of passing through, and they only make sense when someone is actively moving through them. Their purpose is tied to motion, the rhythm of walking, the sound of footsteps, the flow from one area to another. Without that motion, hallways lose their essence. They quickly lose their sense of function and identity. They don't transform into empty rooms, nor do they simply fade into the background. Instead, they become interrupted paths, spaces that are meant to connect, but now disconnected, no longer serving the role they were designed for. The absence of movement renders them incomplete, leaving them suspended in a state of purposelessness. Unlike other areas, hallways do not hold the same stillness that empty rooms or waiting areas do. The stillness in a hallway feels unnatural, a disruption of the flow that should exist there. The walls, the flooring, the doors, all of it points forward, expecting movement, and when that movement is absent, the space seems to lose its meaning. What was once a continuous journey becomes a stalled path, a pause in the otherwise fluid motion that hallways were created to facilitate. In their stillness, they don't just become empty, they become places of interruption, waiting for the flow to begin again. This hallway isn't unsettling because something happened here. It's unsettling because something is supposed to be happening. The movement stopped, the structure remained, and that gap is what feels wrong. If a space exists only to be passed through, what remains when no one is moving anymore? Do empty corridors feel more uncomfortable to you than empty rooms?